So in this chapter, we're going to be looking at SMART goals and how to set SMART goals. A SMART goal has 5 separate components. So first of all, your goal needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now you can pause this slide to look at the subtext, but we're definitely going to go into detail for each of these components. So the first aspect of a SMART goal is for the goal to be specific. So this means that your goal should be clear and easy to understand. A common goal is, I want to get healthy, which is way too general. I mean, there are so many ways to get healthy. How do you want to do it? Do you want to, lose weight? Do you want to start exercising? Do you want to stop smoking? You really need to break down your goal so it's clear and it's easier to manage. So if we were to pick weight loss and make a SMART goal out of it together, how would we do that? So for example, if someone says, I want to lose weight. Okay, so that's a pretty general goal. It's more specific than I want to get healthy, but still, how much weight do you want to lose? Is it 10 pounds? Is it 20 pounds? How are you going to do it? What activities are you going to choose to help you lose weight? So those are ways to make your goal very specific. The second component of a SMART goal is making your goal measurable. So saying you want to lose weight isn't enough, like I mentioned before. It's just not specific enough. How will you track your progress, and how will you know when you've reached your goal? How will you know when you've lost enough weight? So making your goal measurable means adding a number. So like we said, you want to lose weight. How much weight? 10 pounds? 20 pounds? What's the number that you can measure your success on? The third aspect of a SMART goal is to make your goal achievable. So before you can add a number, you have to know how high or low you want to go. It's good to shoot for the stars, but don't be too extreme. Likewise, a goal that is too easy is also not very motivating. So really only you know your limits, but at the same time, throughout this course, we're going to go over what really is achievable with regards to weight loss and what's achievable for you in particular. There are equations out there and there are things out there that can help you gauge where you should place your goal, like what's the right number for you. So taking our goal above, what percentage is attainable for you? So some research suggests that a 5 to 10% weight loss is attainable for most people over, for example, the span of a year. We can use these numbers, and we can use these percentages to kind of gauge what number we should put. But for now, let's keep that aside, and we'll definitely go over it throughout the course. So a measurable, attainable goal could be I will lose 7% of my body weight, like just as an example of what that might look like. You also want your goal to be relevant. So setting goals that are important to where you are in your life right now is important. Don't set a goal that someone else is pressuring you to attain. That really isn't very motivating. And we'll talk about the difference between having external motivation versus internal motivation. Pressure from someone else is an external motivator, and that's not really a good type of motivation. So we'll be going over that. Examine your goal so far. Does it seem relevant to you? If so, let's keep going. But if not, and you're not really concerned about your weight loss, or this isn't really a good time for you, choose something that is motivating to you. So for example, losing weight right now, not motivating to you, not really what you're into. But being involved in an activity 2 times a week maybe is. Maybe you just want to be out there doing things. You want to take a dance class, you want to learn a new skill. Make that your goal. That's a process goal, and it's a really good type of goal to have. Finally, you want your goal to be time-bound. So include an endpoint. Knowing that you have a deadline motivates you to get started to begin with. We all know this. Since healthy weight loss is about 1 to 2 pounds a week, set your deadline accordingly. So, you want to lose weight this month. How much weight? Probably 4 to 8 pounds. So 2 to 4 kilos. Set your deadline accordingly. If you want to lose 20 pounds, you won't be able to do that in 1 month. It's simply not possible, and then if you are able to do it, you've probably really stressed out your body and done it in a really unhealthy way. So be realistic and set a deadline that makes sense. So back to our example, let's say we use 3 months. I will lose 7% of my body weight in 3 months. It needs to make sense to you, and it needs to make sense scientifically as well, basically. Now I'm going to talk about the difference between outcome goals and process goals. You're probably more familiar with outcome goals, which focus on specific accomplishments like losing 15 pounds in 10 weeks. That would be an outcome goal. So essentially it's a SMART goal. SMART goals are normally outcome goals. And there it is. However, when people fail to achieve their outcome goals, they can become demoralized and give up on their exercise regimen. So you don't want to just have outcome goals as your, as something to achieve or as your target. You want to have process goals as well, and we're going to talk about that. So process goals focus on the implementation of your exercise program. So the process, how are you going to get to your goal, basically? For example, a good process goal is to exercise 4 times this week for at least 20 minutes per workout. That's how you're going to achieve your weight loss, right? So this is very important to have because it helps you have kind of sub-goals that can help you eventually reach your ultimate goal or your grand goal. Without these sub-goals, a grand goal can seem really intimidating and really far-fetched or far away from you. So not that motivating. Whereas if you have these small little goals, 4 times a week, you're able to kind of keep track of your progress and feel like you're accomplishing something while you're trying to accomplish the greater thing. So you have more control over accomplishing these small process goals, and it will help you get in the habit of exercising. So creating that consistency.